All right, we're going to get started, everyone. Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law. I wish to state that on September the 4th, 2015, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel-Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting, and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 and on the Upper Township website. We hereby direct that this announcement made a part of the minutes of this meeting. I would ask all to rise for the salute to the flag, and I would ask our Boy Scouts to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll let you guys start if you would, please. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggins?
Here.
Mr. Pearson?
Here.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mayor Colombo?
Here.
All members are present.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes from August the 24th, both the regular and closed session meeting?
Motion to approve. Second.
Is there any corrections, deletions, omissions that anyone's aware of? Hearing none. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
We will move forward to the presentations and come back to the report of the governing body members so that we can honor Boy Scout Troop 95 of Upper Township for their assistance during the Upper Township annual 4th of July celebration. So I think the group is taking this as a troop, right? So I will read the resolution, but I would ask the Boy Scouts and their leaders to come forward so that we can present this to your Scoutmaster. Whereas Boy Scout Troop 95 of Upper Township participated in the Upper Township annual 4th of July celebration by providing general assistance with various activities held throughout the day, including supervising the dunk tank and the cleanup of Amanda's Field at the conclusion of the celebration. The Boy Scouts of America provides a program that offers young people the opportunity to build character, learn new skills, and develop leadership expertise. Whereas the Boy Scouts of America program provides valuable training in the responsibilities of participation and citizenship and the importance of connecting and giving back to their communities. It is appropriate that on behalf of the citizens of Upper Township that we recognize and honor the Boy Scout Troops of 95 for their dedication to community service during the Upper Township 4th of July celebration and throughout the year. Whereas the Township Committee also extends its congratulations and appreciation to the Scout Masters of Troop 95 and all others who give so freely and generously of their time for the benefit of our youth. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee on behalf of the citizens of the Township of Upper to extend to Boy Scout Troop 95 recognition of their valued assistance and service provided during the Upper Township 4th of July celebration, and to the Scoutmasters heartfelt thanks and gratitude for their time and service to the young people of this community. So I would ask all to round of applause. And if you would come up, we could present you. Maybe what we can do is have us stand behind and you guys be in the front. It might be easier trying to, so that we can get a picture. Don't be afraid.
Yeah. That's good. Right there. Turn around.
John, I'm going to give you this. Okay. Come up, give me this. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wait a minute, he's going to come down here.
Now, do you need us to contact these guys to get in a little bit more? Are you good? You got it? Can you,
Yeah.
can maybe you, the taller ones
taller
come
ones
behind
come in the
a little
back.
bit?
Yeah.
Taller guys in
There
there.
you go.
Just make sure your heads are showing though, because I don't want anybody not in the picture.
Except for Luke's. Except for Luke's head.
Just make sure you can see the cameras in front of you. There you go.
if I could, just real quick.
Sure.
For those that don't know, the Boy Scouts every year at 4th of July camp out at Amanda's Field. And this year, as well as helping to set up decorations and maintaining what we do there, they also did the dunk tank, which went over well. I got cremated in it, which was a good thing.
Me too.
And so did Rich, and so
so
did
did
Ed.
Ed.
So, but really, we wanted to thank them more than anything else because they spend the night and then they stay and they do a skirmish on the entire park. And they pick up every piece of trash in that park for us. And it's all in cans, it's cleaned up, and it's ready to go. And you guys are being commended for what you've done. And I know it goes towards their community service awards, which is phenomenal. And whatever we can do to help out the Boy Scouts. I never made it past first class, so, but they did a great job. So thank you so much.
And guys, we're hoping that we'll give you some inspiration to move on and hopefully make it to Eagle Scout. Don't be like Mr. Young here. Go all the way. We really like that.
President Luke right here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome to stay or you're welcome to go.
We'll take you up on that one. They should stay to knock out another merit badge. There you go.
Through to my page 6 seconds.
Okay. All right, so we'll go back to the report of the governing body. Barbara, do you have anything for us today?
I just have one thing. I would like to request permission to register 22 of our township employees for the New Jersey League of Municipalities Conference. And if they're registered prior to October 1st, we get a discount for that. The cost to register is $55 per employee. And the 22 also includes members of the township committee themselves and the planning and zoning as well.
Okay, and that usually helps with training, CEs, updates, as well as, equipment and different things that, different employees have an opportunity to observe. Someone like to make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Would you call the roll, please?
Very good, thank you. Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Thank you very much. That's all I have this evening, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mr. Young?
Nothing at this time. We do have a few contract negotiation and litigation matters as well as a safety and security issue for closed session.
Okay. Paul?
Thank you. I just have one item. We had a suggestion from a resident regarding some no parking regulations at the intersection of Stagecoach and Tuckahoe Road. I did go out and look at it, and I think it would be wise for the committee to adopt an ordinance to increase what the statutory limits are for no parking at that intersection and increase them just to make that a little safer of an intersection so that nobody parks too close to that intersection and would block sight triangles.
Are they parking there for church?
No, it's up closer to
The intersection.
the intersection with Stagecoach there, kind of at the very beginning of Wayside Village.
Is that where the car wash is?
The car wash is.
Car wash,
and
yeah.
everything.
Okay,
And before the, I'm gonna say, not at Ralph's Bagels, because Ralph's Bagels, there already has it, no parking zone, but it's kind of, from Ralph's Bagels towards the intersection, and then just on the other side of the intersection,
Yeah.
all right.
on that first 100 feet or
I
so.
was wondering too with the residents there now. Maybe that would, I've seen some cars parking out there.
Yep.
So I was wondering if that's where the problems are arising.
Yes.
I would fully support that.
Just so you know the process, it's a county road, so we need a resolution from the county authorizing us to adopt an ordinance to give us the authority to put no parking there.
Right.
And I'm sure the committee is aware that that intersection has had some safety issues in the past, and I guess that's the concern Paul has when he looks at the intersection.
Correct.
So do you need a motion to move
I-
forward to
I
the
would like
draft
a-
resolution?
A motion to direct me to prepare an ordinance in conjunction with Paul and to obtain a county approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Poggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Flynn?
Yes. Excuse me.
Paul, I wanted to ask you regarding Public Works, where are we on the end of season notices for our temporary employees that were hired for the summer? We had hired, what, 8 or 9 people for the summer as temp workers?
We hired 4.
We hired 4?
We had 4.
The other was the beach
I
patrol.
believe they're just about 3 months in,
Right.
about 3 months in.
Okay, we were looking at kind of the September timeframe for
6 months one.
moving that on.
I mean, I would recommend that, we currently have 3 employees still, out on either disability or workers' comp issues, so, those 4 people really aren't extra, I'm not getting really any extra work done, I'm really just maintaining the status quo for the workforce, so I'd request to kind of keep them there the full 6-month period at this point.
We did say 6 months, not
Well,
September, right?
that's what the timeframe, usually we hire them, the part-time people for 6 months, that's what we're allowed to, to maintain those seasonal employees before they, run into issues with,
Okay, it was my impression that the seasonal employees were there for things like grass cutting, helping out in the summer, so on and so forth. With the summer drawing to a close, I'm just kind of wondering what time frame are we looking at for moving on with the seasonal?
it'd be for the full 6 months, so we can catch up and get the stuff, catch up on things that we haven't been able to do and get completed.
All right, at what
Six months would bring us to the beginning of December.
beginning of December?
Mhm.
Okay.
Probably, maybe the second week in December without having the dates in front of me, but I'm guessing about the second week in December, all of those 4 part-time employees would need to be terminated.
Okay.
And I think for next year, what we have to do is keep in mind that we want to get them started earlier,
Correct.
because we're a little bit behind the 8 ball this year, so. And believe me, I'm sure that they're gonna be able to utilize them for the next few
Yeah.
months.
And believe me, the grass is still growing.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Exactly.
absolutely know that.
I know that, the one gentleman.
And the
we have
leaves will be
part-time
falling.
Is a phenomenal mason or bricklayer, block-layer, and he came in very handy this year, to school in some of our projects, and we have more block laying projects going on. He's become very valuable, and I know that 3 out of the 4 that I know of right now, all the supervisors are ecstatic with the quality of the part-time helpers we've got. So, it's, I keep telling them, keep doing a great job, and if anything should happen, then you're making a record for yourself. But all the supervisors have been, really raving about the 4 guys we brought in, so.
The other thing I'd like to bring up is the beach sweepers. Typically, we kind of start getting ready to stop having them work about the middle of September, about the last time the beach patrol is out on the beach and doing that. I would request that, we do have some additional monies in that fund, for clean communities, and I'd like to ask them to stay until the end of September to go out and do some road cleanups in some areas where obviously our public works hasn't been able to go out and do those things, or the county's been, or the state hasn't been able to get out and do some areas. So just to do some areas where, we have community groups go out and do areas, but, sometimes you don't wanna put young adults and, teenagers in certain areas, and I'd rather use adults in certain areas. So I'd like to request that we keep them until the end of September. We'll still hit them on the beach, make sure the beaches, because obviously the beaches through September still get used at times, but also we'll just supplement some times and do some road cleanups, get some areas cleaned up that haven't been.
And we've
cleaned up.
gotten some emails for
Yes,
some
we have.
identified areas.
Yes.
Stagecoach Road, we could utilize them to address some of those
I think
areas, correct?
they should, they'll be scheduled to go out there at least once this week, I think.
Good.
To hit that area. Also Cove Road is another area
Mhm.
that we've had some issues.
Yeah,
with.
but really, the beaches are being used. I mean, they were
Yes.
crowded all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The weather keeps up the way it's going, and there'll be another weekend, next weekend, there'll be a substantial amount of people down as well, so.
My thought was, since we usually have them there for 3 days, keep them there on the Monday and Friday for the beaches, but like Wednesday, allow them to get off and, do a little cleanup on some of the roadways.
Yeah, there's also some beach cleanup they can do too. I
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm saying, they're not gonna stop, they're not
Yeah.
gonna not do the beaches, we're gonna just, you know, since that slows down a little bit, we're gonna try to get some other areas of the township cleaned up as well.
Mhm.
Just so the committee's aware, normally we hire 3 beach sweepers. This year, we only had 2 throughout the summer. So there is a little bit of additional funds available, and that's what Paul's asking.
Okay, thanks. So we need a motion, or?
Do we need a motion for that, Dan?
I don't think so.
No?
He's just reporting a management issue.
Yeah, they're within the
Okay.
timeframe. I
Just
don't
wanna make
think
sure
it's-
that you knew that, so that, you know,
Mhm.
we're going a little bit beyond what we normally do, but, we're good. Thank you.
And just so you're aware, the lifeguards, will be on next weekend, and that'll be it. They're not on the beach during the week at this point.
That's all I had, thank you.
Okay, Barbara?
I have one item this evening. We recently had a conflict with the mayor who oversees personnel and beach patrol. A matter came up where the mayor had a conflict, and Mr. Young had suggested that Deputy Mayor Barr step in the mayor's place. I would just like to ask the committee that if there are any future conflicts with the mayor in personnel and beach patrol, that Committeeman Barr be the one designated, the committeeman designated, or any one of you. Just designate someone else
Shouldn't
to handle any.
As deputy mayor, shouldn't he be the next in line anyway?
It's because it was a personnel matter and the lifeguard situation, it's really Rich's department. We didn't have a meeting coming up, and I didn't think it was important enough to call a meeting just for the purposes of having someone appointed, but the personnel manual does require those 2 department heads to consult with the personnel officer before any decision is
Right.
made along those lines. So in the interim, Ed agreed to step up, and I'll cover the conflict. I guess I'd add a little bit to what Barb just said, in that if you feel it's appropriate, obviously you can pick who you want to cover the conflict. But if you could retroactively agree that that was an appropriate thing to do, because obviously the mayor couldn't do it as a conflict. And secondly, if it comes up in the future in that way, would designate a person of the committee to do that, to step in. If we had the luxury of a meeting in between you, it would have been reported and you would have made the decision, but we didn't, and we thought it was more important not to have a conflict of interest.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was. I always thought under protocol that if the mayor had to step down from anything, the deputy mayor automatically steps in.
Only for mayoral duties. That's not automatic for his department head duties.
Okay,
So I guess we're looking for a motion to.
let's make it clean.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for. Motion to essentially appoint, if you so desire, Mr. Barr to serve as conflict, if it's personnel or lifeguards.
You
Motion
want it?
to appoint.
Second.
Just,
And not to knock Mr. Pearson, but it was because of his public safety issues and background, that's the reason why I made the suggestion.
so that I act appropriately, do I abstain from this
You should
vote?
abstain for that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Barr,
Yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Abstain.
Abstaining. 4 in favor, motion is carried.
All right.
And that's all I have this evening, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Coggins.
Just one thing, not related to finance. You know, this is something that I really didn't think about it, and I'm sure you guys probably didn't either, but we may want to rethink the date for the Family Fest. It's a major conflict with the Historical Society's Apple Festival, and on the same day, we have the Community Quilting Group, who also has reserved the community center to sell their quilts. The proceeds from the sale of quilts generally do things like help wounded veterans and so on and so forth. So we're kind of competing against 2, very predominant organizations within the townships.
You mean for the Fall Fest?
For the Fall Fest.
My understanding, isn't the October, or the Apple Fest on a Saturday?
Yes,
We're on a Sunday.
yes.
Okay,
So there's some confusion there on dates. We are on a Sunday afternoon, so there should be no conflict.
And when's the Quillers?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Quillers are Saturday?
I think so.
They're
Yeah, I think what it was, is we had talked originally about doing either the
Oh, they're all
17th or
week?
the 18th,
A week,
Weekend.
okay.
but we changed it to the 18th, just for our own personal reasons, but the Apple Fest had not requested any dates up until last week, Barb, as far as the knowledge of what day they were gonna do it.
correct, I didn't receive.
So they
the
also need to
calendar.
get their agendas in sooner if they don't wanna have
Right,
conflicts.
so, you know what we could do is really kind of sell this as a weekend package. It will probably help, the Stitchers, at the community center, if they're there Saturday and Sunday, with those two festivals going on between the Apple Fest, Saturday and, the Fall Festival on Sunday, that should generate some additional folks because, the Apple Fest is on Tyler Road, right, at the Gandy House,
Yes.
so kinda, there's gonna be a lot of traffic going up and down 50 for that. And then the next day will be the, Fall Festival, so we could package it, and Paul, what I think we really need to do quickly is to get it on the TV, and Ed, we can get it on the website. And basically, we'll come up with some sort of banner thing for the whole weekend, and then, really, give everybody equal time, for what they're having there. I think that would work out.
Fall Fest is 1 to 6, Paul.
Yeah, cause we don't wanna have overrun, the Apple Fest has been there for a long time too, so.
Barb before me, the notice on it, and when I looked at it, so your Saturday or Sunday, so there is no conflict. And we'll also have soccer games going on the same day as ours, but that's fine, because that brings people into the park and we work our schedules out. We'll have Challenger Sports there as well as some of the league soccer going on at the same time as the Fall Fest. So we can pack the park.
And I believe you are going to enter the apple pie contest? Is that right?
Can I use you for the pumpkin carving contest?
I thought it was the pie throwing contest.
We can do that
After we
too.
went through the Dunk Fest, July
I
4th.
hope he makes a pretty good apple pie.
I'll eat a pretty good apple pie.
Okay, so I think we may have taken care of that, sounds like, John.
Yeah.
Anything else that you have?
No, nothing else for me.
Okay, Mr. Young?
All right, as I just stated, the Fall Fest will be on October the 18th, Sunday from 1 to 6. We're working on sponsorships at this time. Again, we're trying to get some corporate, so I'll probably be talking to you about calling Cape as well as maybe Ocean City Home Bank. As of right now, we're looking at having 3 bands playing, and there are going to be 3 different bands than we've had normally. As of right now, we have Atlee Moon, which is mostly all local guys that are really a good local band, and probably the Giuliano Brothers out of Philadelphia. That's a well-known band to the whole Sea Isle and the shore areas. I know Ed's heard them. So they're definitely look like they're going to be 2 on board. We have our sound guy already lined up. All of our equipment's already rented, so that's taken care of. Now it's just getting the cost taken care of. Shauna has taken the head on this and has been running it, her and Mandy Constantino, or Mandy Walicki, doing a fantastic job along with Barb's office. And I appreciate Barb the help her giving in there as far as, back and forth with the 2 of them. We're trying to make sure this one's done very well. And so right now we're looking for vendors, we're looking for games for the kids. It looks like we're gonna have hay rides, we're gonna have a pumpkin carving contest, we're gonna have pumpkin painting, we're gonna have the characters there for the kids again for photoshops and the interaction with probably 5 or 6 different superheroes. So it looks like it's gonna be another good day. So that's where we are with that. Amanda's Field, we're presently getting ready to put up the fence posts on the 2 fields that we have complete. The 3rd field is completely cut in and graded. 4th field is laid out and being ready to be graded. And we have the 2 T-ball or sea-level fields, the configuration on them and the layout done on them. Refreshment stand is scheduled for September 16th to be stood in place as far as the superior walls. So that'll give us that to look forward to. We're presently having some issues with fall ball, finding places to practice and to play at this time. So we're trying to work out schedules between football with the Little League field, which I don't think there'll be a problem. practice areas, I talked to them today and told them that right now the men's softball fields are not being used. And those infields are adequate for them to run infield practices and outfield practice. So I told Jason Coos and Frank to get a hold of Karen and to make sure that they're not being used so we can get them out there so they can have, have their practices. I don't know how many teams, I think there's 2 or 3 fall teams, Dan, somewhere in that area, the
I don't know
Hurricanes.
what they do now, but it was usually only a handful of teams years ago.
Yeah, fall ball's, pretty big. So football's underway. Our kids did very well at all levels in scrimmages this year. The turnout's been fantastic. We had the high school coaches and players come over, and they did a barbecue and a inter-squad practice where each kid had a varsity player working with them from the high school, which I think really builds the continuity that we want to see with our sports in the high school for our kids to step up. As everybody knows, we will be having the Babe Ruth World Champions coming in, and we'll get together with that with Barb to honor the entire team. It is a all-star team, which is sanctioned through our Babe Ruth team also. So we would like to bring them all in. There's kids from Atlantic County and Cape May County, basically, that's on that squad. And we're very pleased that one of our kids got the Gold Glove Award, and he's a local boy. And an Ocean City kid won the MVP of the entire World Series. So 2 of our locals really did well. And other than that, I've had some requests, and Paul and I talked today, and I just want to throw it out there because I think we need to look at it, is for some kind of a basketball situation other than Codwell Park for the kids. There's a lot of 12, 14, 15-year-old kids who want to play, and there's no place in the general area for them to play. So the parents are having to transport them or having to ride bikes all the way to Codwell Park to play. So just something for the future.
What about the community center?
There's a court
That's
in
in,
Tuckahoe.
we're looking at an outdoor.
There's a court in Tuckahoe that's never used that I've seen.
That thing has been let go, and it's not in very good shape, Jeff. And again, when you got 12-year-old kids from this area,
Yeah.
there's nothing in between the 2 areas. That's the extreme areas for the township. So just something to think about
Yeah.
down the road. I think we need to take a look at it.
They do have the basketball leagues. I don't know when they start up, but they're pretty active.
Yeah, again, the more we can keep the kids off the street, the better off I think we are.
Yep.
And the only other thing we have is I asked Paul to look into today, and I think we're gonna be okay with it. We've promised the cheerleaders to take the concrete pad that they cheer on and perform on at Amanda's Field, and to put the rubber compound down on there as a safety barrier. So we're gonna look into trying to get that done as quickly as we can.
Like the beads?
Yeah, the beads, like we used at Golden Oak. So if we can do that, and it'll give us a chance also to use it on top of concrete and really see how it's gonna work.
Well, we already have the machinery to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think we can get it in black and yellow so it matches team colors, or yellow and white, or whatever we can get. So we're gonna look, that's one of the things in the future, near future, as well as the hockey rink being resurfaced to get that ready, up and ready for our fall hockey season, which begins October 1st. So that's where we're at.
okay.
And that's it.
Mr. Barr?
Kudos to our public works employees again for the endless summer, preparing the fields and everything out there. For what I understand, it was a very successful event again this year. Had quite a few teams.
50
And,
teams, I heard, Ed.
Yep. And our rescue squad people were out there, so it's a nice community event that they sponsor, and gets our chance to, again, showcase Amanda's Field that we're so proud to have. Other thing is, traffic's gonna get a little bit lighter out there because of the summer, but, pay attention. Our workers are out there patching streets and collecting trash, so by all means, drive safely, and of course, you're gonna see all those yellow school buses out there, so keep in mind, we got the kids running around out there, so, operate cautiously with your vehicle, and that's all I have to report.
Okay. Mr. Pearson?
I have nothing this time.
Okay, I only have a couple quick things. One, I noticed over the weekend, Paul, that there's scarping again that's going on around Vincent, as we had in the past. And I know that they came in and kind of leveled it a little bit month ago.
A month ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to do the same thing. I'm afraid someone might, it's a pretty decent drop, and I don't want anybody to break any legs or sprain any ankles or that kind of thing. So sometime this week, if we could do that, that'd be great. It's not the whole area, it's not down at Williams, but it's definitely around Vincent, you know, probably heading down towards Sherman, and that area where it is mostly affected.
I'll get out there and take a look at it, if necessary.
The beaches have really held up well that I've seen for the entire summer, so.
Yeah, a couple measurements I've taken, you know, we've lost, you know, we've had some minor losses out, you know, I'll say, you know, Williams heading north with a couple blocks to Seaview, but when you look at the gains that we've had, you know, in the state park, you know, the sand is all still right close to, on the beach, it's just kind of, Mother Nature's just moving it around.
Well, let's hope that Mother Nature cooperates and we don't have any tropical storms or whatever
Yes.
between now and the season ends.
While you're on the beach, just real quick, how we make out on getting the handrails fixed, do you know?
That was fixed that afternoon. that
Okay, I just wanna make sure.
You called in.
Some of the handrails were, you lean on me, would have fallen through, so I just wanted to make sure they were taken care of. Sorry about that.
No problem. The other thing, we actually were able to use a prototype of an aluminum lifeguard stand that really mimics what we have built over the years. If you recall, at the beginning of the year, we had more of a open lifeguard stand that, you know, was elevated, was aluminum, but it didn't really, it didn't have the cover over top. So obviously, we had to figure out ways of putting umbrella and put the lifeguards, you know, to make sure that they're protected from the sun. The same company actually took a picture of our wooden lifeguard stands and made an aluminum one. And it was on Williams Avenue, and you couldn't tell the difference. They basically are somewhat around the same price. I think they said that was about $800 to purchase one with the wheels, and it cost us about $600 to make the wood ones. And the aluminum ones have a lifetime assurance of at least 10 years. We're not getting that out of the wooden ones. So, and I think for safety, they are much lighter. There's a significant amount of room in there. In fact, they're about 4 to 6 inches wider than the ones that we have now. So, as we move into next year and start considering it, what I'd like to do is maybe start replacing a couple each year or something, and we'll do a progressive way of purchasing down the future, and ultimately eliminate the wooden stands to this new prototype, which, like I said, has a roof on it, has the bench on there, same level, same height as the wooden ones, but much lighter.
How many stands do we actually have?
6, 7, if you include Beasley's Point. We probably have 8, maybe 9. So, and then we have the original prototype, the high-rise, one that's open, that mimics more like what you see in Sea Isle or in the Wildwoods. And then this newer one. So I think we're gonna be able to work out something with that one. So, I just said, let's gradually replace the wooden ones with that, and then try and maintain the wooden ones as best we can moving forward, so. And Paul, this continues to be a problem. There is a huge pothole on Roosevelt Boulevard as you exit the Parkway. And people are really having problems. It's been replaced several times, patched by the county. It's a county road. It's on the Roosevelt Boulevard side. But it's right in front of Broadleys. When you make the right there, if you don't know what's there, you're in a half a foot of the hole. I'm not exaggerating.
I'll call the county first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's gotten worse over the weekend. And I know someone said, wow, I hit that thing like hard the other day. So as soon as we can get them out there to take care of it, that'd be great. So that's all I have. If anybody has any comments, we'll catch up before we open it up to the public. So let's move on to the resolutions.
Okay, item number 2, congratulating employee Edward Carter of the Upper Township Department of Public Works for his winning entry in the Upper Township Safety Award Program for the 4th quarter of 2015.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll, please.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Poggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 3, a resolution congratulating the Atlantic Shore 14-year-old baseball team on becoming the 2015 Babe Ruth 14-year-old World Series champions.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is
Barb,
carried.
did Mr. Geiger or one of the coaches get a hold of you yet with the roster?
Yes,
Okay. So I talked to Matt, and I just want to make sure that they followed through.
yes, they did.
All right, thank you.
Item number 4, honoring ShopRite Partners in Caring and the Marmora ShopRite Associates for their fight against hunger.
Move the resolution.
Second. And I just want to add that I actually, they honored 2 of the employees in the spring, and they actually got their pictures on a Cheerios box.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's well noted. It's a huge fundraising effort all across all ShopRites, and the Marmora ShopRite actually beat out the other individuals, so something to,
And the event will be held this year on this September 16th at 10 a.m. at ShopRite.
okay?
Uh,
So would you call the roll? Do we
Mr.
vote?
Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 5, authorizing the mayor and township clerk to sign a contract with Shore Veterinarians Animal Control Services for an animal control services in Upper Township.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr? Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 6, authorizing a 2-year extension of the temporary use and occupancy agreement with Rutgers University Institute of Marine and Coastal Sciences.
Move the resolution.
Second.
This is the discussion we had in the last meeting. This is the tower that's in front of the lifeguard station that Rutgers is utilizing for scientific data. Let's call the roll, please.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 7, certification of costs for abatement of nuisance on Block 303, Lot 1, Block 348, Lot 18, Block 455, Lot 33, and Block 474, Lot .1.01.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 8, renewal of an alcoholic consumption license to Lavari Land for the license year of 2015.
Okay.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Everything's in? on this-
Yes, it is.
Okay. Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 9, authorizing the engineer to prepare specifications and solicit bids for roadway and bike path paving at Amanda's Field.
Question on this one? The funding for this, what is the engineer's estimate for this, and where is the funding coming from? for
It's
the-
part of,
It's all part of the county grant.
part of the
That
grant.
that is part that's coming out of the grant
It's
funds?
100%.
Yep.
100%
100%.
funded grant. It's about $100,000 that we had budgeted for that. I don't think it's gonna be that much, but that's what the grant had allocated for that.
And what percent of the grant will that consume? Was it grant 200,000?
About 40%, right?
Close to 40%.
Okay. Thanks.
Would someone like to make a motion to
Yeah.
approve this?
And it's something that we do need to do to satisfy the grant, so we can move forward, so.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 10, tax refund for Block 563, Lot 21.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 11, authorizing a shared services agreement with the Township of Egg Harbor for use of facilities, equipment, and supplies for truck and equipment washing.
Move the resolution.
Second.
And we're comfortable that everything,
Yeah, Egg Harbor agreed to the terms that we had discussed
calls for a $1,200 annual payment upfront, non-refundable, and then they get credit towards our cost per vehicle, and if they go over that, they have to pay monthly.
Okay. I mean, we are certainly working to try and, share services with our surrounding communities. We just want to make sure that it is in Upper Township's better interest as we move forward with some of these. Okay. So would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Goggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 12, honoring the citizens of Osprey Point for their continued efforts to commemorate the innocent victims of September 11th, 2001, and those who continue to fight for the freedom of this great nation.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Goggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is
And
carried.
I'll only add that not only does Osprey Point do Patriot Day celebration on September 11th, they also do Veterans Day and they also do Memorial Day, and it really has become the focal point of our celebrations, dedicating to those that give service to the country and those that have given their lives. So.
Item number 13, authorizing a notice of violation and abatement of nuisance pursuant to Township Code Section 11-1.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 14, under ordinances. The introduction and first reading of ordinance number 12, 2015, an ordinance amending multi-purpose bond ordinance numbered 5, 2013, as amended by ordinance number 15, 2013, and ordinance number 4, 2014 of the Township of Upper in the County of Cape May, New Jersey, finally adopted on April 8, 2013, as amended December 16, 2013, and April 14, 2014, respectively, in order to move a portion of the aggregate appropriation and a portion of the aggregate authorization from Section 3A to Section 3B and Section 3E to amend the description of the projects in Section 3A, Section 3B, Section 3D, and Section 3E, and to amend the average useful life.
Okay. And as Barbara stated, this is an introduction, and so that there'll be a, when,
Yes.
we'll make a motion, but when will we have a public hearing on that?
The public hearing is scheduled for October 13th.
Move to
Okay.
introduce.
Second.
And with the public hearing scheduled for October 13th.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, there's a first and a second. As long as there's no other discussion, would you call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. All right, and then under new business, we have number 15, Ducks Unlimited, New Jersey State Committee request to hold a raffle at the Seaville Fire Hall on October 24th, 2015.
Move to approve.
Second. Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 16, Upper Township Baseball Association request to hold a movie night at Amanda's Field on September 12th through October 17th.
So that'll run for 4 weeks, consecutive weeks, Barb?
Yes.
6? Wasn't it 6? 12th,
Six.
19th,
Looks like
26th,
six.
3rd, 10th, and 17th.
Okay. Whatever it is.
5 to 11:30.
Okay. Yeah, I discussed it with them already. They did it last year and had a great success out of it. It's something we look forward to doing later on at Amanda's Field anyway. So it's a good kickstart for this, and I think, if I remember correctly, it was $10 a carload
Yes.
to come to the movie. So it should be a good time of the
What are
year
they
for
using? One of those blow-up screens?
it. Jason Coos has all the equipment. He has a big whiteout board that he puts up that's like 20 by 30 feet or something.
Okay.
and he has all the projectors, so we don't have to do anything at all except for go there and support it. So. Good
Move to
I'd
approve?
like to go out there myself.
Good test run for
Welcome
us.
to the 1950s.
Yeah, I like it. It's like the old drive-in, only maybe sitting on a beach chair, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Second.
Okay.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 17, Strathmere Improvement Association. Request for a welcome to Strathmere sign.
Motion to approve, and also I'd like to thank the association because I think it's a great idea and it's a beautiful sign that they're proposing.
Second.
Can I just
Sure.
make one comment? What's the sign say entirely? Welcome to Strathmere?
And the bottom says the Strathmere Improvement Association.
Would there be anything as far as putting Upper Township on there? Upper Township, New Jersey?
Well, we hadn't planned on it, but this is money that we fundraised ourselves, and we're trying to do it similar to a Rotary or Kiwanis, where we have the two-pronged awareness of our association, since they're not visible on it.
You know what? I
Perhaps you
apologize.
should
Just
come
for the
to the
record,
mic
we
and-
need you to state your name and your address.
Linda Bateman, I'm.
Can you go to the microphone, because we're taping this?
Linda Bateman, I'm the president of the Strathmere Improvement Association. I live at 14 East Tecumseh in Strathmere. I'm also accompanied by two of our board members, Donna Diefender, our treasurer, and Rosemary Whalen, our secretary.
And the sign is gonna be placed,
That picture is not exactly where Dale Foster has spray painted the location. It's going to be behind the guardrail, between the narrow ridge sign and the slippery when wet. We have been working since the centennial in 2012 with Mr. Foster to find the location. There were none in town that survived the survey, so the plan then was to move it to the approach into town.
okay?
And,
Do we have any signage here at all that says welcome to Upper Township, like we used to have that coming in almost every municipality?
On that stretch.
You know what, though, I'm, in fairness to the Strathmere folks, if you drive down 9 heading north, it doesn't say welcome to Beasley's Point,
Yeah.
Upper Township, it says welcome to Beasley's Point on the sign. Or it says Beasley's Point.
I don't have a problem with it, I was
So-
just,
there is a green metal sign in town that says welcome, it says Strathmere and Upper Township.
Yeah.
Near the,
and I don't have an issue with it either, I was just.
Yeah, I understand, but what I'm talking about is as far as the public, people that don't live here, when they drive into a municipality, they know what municipality they're in. So it's Strathmere, Upper Township, New Jersey. Because I'll tell you, growing up down there, I mean, I was an Islander my whole life. You know, a lot of people don't know that Strathmere is part of Upper Township, and that it would be part of education to tell people that you're in Strathmere and it's part of Upper Township.
The county has signs up and down Route 9, and it's the green sign you're probably referring to down on Commonwealth that will say Palermo and Upper Township at each section. There is one, I believe it's coming north if you're from the south, isn't that where it is?
yes, you see it,
Yeah. So this is coming from the other direction.
you see it as you approach the bridge.
In a lot of ways too, it's like the signs that maybe the Knights of Columbus would put up as you're going into Ocean City. You see on the right-hand side as you come over the bridge, welcome to Ocean City, Knights of Columbus, and the Rotary has one, some of these things, so it's
But what's unique about us is Ocean City's Ocean City. I mean, we have different towns within our municipality. So you have Seaville, you have Tuckahoe. So what I'm getting at is to have uniformity on your signs to say, welcome to Tuckahoe, Upper Township, New Jersey, or that, to get into that regiment of that when we do signs that, you know, you're putting, you know, the vicinage or little town that's there along with the municipality that it belongs to.
Well, we do have the Upper Township Beach Patrol in Strathmere. We do have a white water tower that says Strathmere and Upper Township. So, you know, I mean, I don't wanna see them have to go through any additional costs. You know, I'm comfortable with the sign that's
I
there.
think, you know, when an organization's coming in and doing a nice sign, and we can always add somewhere on there, welcome to Upper Township, on the other side of the bridge or wherever we want to. So I think that they should be allowed to, since they're gonna foot the bill for it, I think it should, as long as it doesn't say, you know,
We're
heck,
our
put
own-
Upper Township on it, we're good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with it.
Right, so,
I understand
Do
where
you
you're
have-
going with it, Ed, but I think it's up to us to put signage that says welcome to Upper Township.
I don't think it's a major issue. It's,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it, and plus the other thing too, it maintains unity. I mean, within the township, you're part of the township, but
all right, so what's your pleasure here, folks?
I'll make a motion to approve the sign.
We have
That's
a
submitted.
first and.
Yeah, we already have a first, second, we're just ready to
All right,
vote.
we're ready to vote? Okay.
Call
Mr.
the question.
Mr. Barr?
yes.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Keep doing the good work down there, Lynn.
And yes, the beach did go away this weekend.
Yes, we'll work on it.
I was in Seattle and they're going through the same thing.
And Avalon, and
Item number 18, Upper Township Tax Collector request for an official to bid on behalf of Upper Township and to authorize funds for the tax sale scheduled for October 6, 2015.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Let's call the roll.
We actually need
Wait.
The officials, but,
the officials.
who was it last year?
Usually it's
was
Barb
the
and
clerk
I.
and the-
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
It's usually Barb and I that are designated to bid. We have $1,000 in the budget,
Barb and Barb,
yes.
it's B and
Oh,
B,
okay,
B and B.
so
You're okay with that?
Motion to authorize Barb and Barb to bid on
Barb
behalf of
and
the
Barb.
township.
The B
Barb
and,
Young and Barb Spiegel.
the B and B gang.
Okay. And we had a second, sorry, I missed that.
You need a second, I'll second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes,
Motion is carried. Item number 19, Stephen Armstrong requests use of the Tuckahoe Beach for Caritas project. And I did speak to Mr. Armstrong and spoke with him about the fact that Tuckahoe Beach is not a bathing beach. And he was agreeable to moving the project if we approve it to another location, which is.
when does he wanna do this?
What, yeah.
He wants to do it in October. The date actually hasn't been,
Yeah, it wasn't on the,
Confirmed
that's
yet.
why I'm asking.
And what's the Caritas project? What's?
it's a project that he would like to do to benefit primarily, from his, all indication would be primarily Upper Township residents, and he is working with Holy Redeemer on this project. And it'll be.
I think, is that
Sounds like
The
Holy-
Caritas
it'll be
itself
Yeah, what is it?
Holy-
is a project that rising seniors at St. Augustine Prep are required to do, and they're also graded on it. And what they have to do is they have to come up with a project that's either gonna benefit the community, benefit a group. They have to design the project, they have to head it up, they have to seek out approvals, and then execute the project.
So it's similar to an Eagle Scout project.
Very
It's very
similar to an
similar.
Eagle Scout project.
You're gonna have a plunge.
That's a part, that's it. I mean, we had, prior to this, Bill Bailey came in, to do the mud run out of Manders Field. But there was a lot of liability there, so he didn't pursue it. So I guess it's on the same concept as that.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing, Hope, same project, but different theory of how they're gonna.
I'm just making sure everybody, you know.
Yes.
So because it's a charitable event, I mean,
Well,
what happens with the,
I went over the ordinance requirements with Barbara, and I believe she's spoken to the young gentleman. If he qualifies, that he can show us that it benefits Upper Township residents primarily, he will not have to pay for the use of the facility, but because it involves swimming and there's gonna be some safety issues that are gonna have to be addressed, and I believe he did say he was gonna have EMS personnel there as well. So it's gonna have to be covered, all those items are gonna have to be covered under our our
Including
ordinance.
possible lifeguards?
You'll probably have to have lifeguards because you're going in the water, yes.
This is just a preliminary approval that he's asking for.
We're not,
Just,
Correct.
yeah, he's gonna have to comply with our
He's
ordinance.
he's gonna come
I
up
wanna
with a
have-
plan.
See, let me be clear, because it's less than 100, I think Barbara's office can approve it. This is more of a report and an explanation to you what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
If it goes over 100, you will then have to formally approve it, but since I believe his numbers are less than 100, your office can approve it.
Yes.
She's essentially putting it on the agenda so you're aware of it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get a report from, if he's gonna use, for example, the Tuckahoe Beach, we'd have to make sure there's enough people to park and.
No, I
move
think
around.
he's already, we've talked about, Barbara called me and I suggested going to Beasley's Point,
Yeah.
mainly
But
because.
at Beast Point, you have to do the same thing, 'cause it's a bridge, you gotta
Yeah,
make
but,
sure
I
it's-
mean, if it's in the morning, I mean, I'm sure they can arrange something like some of the other folks have done with Tuckahoe Inn or something, so that there is a, besides our parking, there's
Right.
a lot of parking down there, so.
But those are logistical items that are routinely handled when a request comes in to use a facility. That is approved by the clerk's office. The clerk's office can approve them if it fits in with the parameters of the ordinance and it's less than 100 people.
And my only question would be the liability insurance on it.
They're gonna have to get a certificate.
They're gonna have to get a certificate, because that's
Mhm.
really the only issue that I would have.
And that was
if
the
they have
problem
that
with,
liability
that was the
insurance.
problem, I think, with the mud.
Well, Bill Senior was gonna get that on his
Well,
own.
he
It
actually,
just wasn't worth it.
he presents a copy of the waiver language for liability and stuff, so they probably have their own,
They may have gotten that from an insurance company.
that's what I'm thinking.
And I think also with the other one, even this, St. Augustine's wouldn't sanction it. So maybe something like this, maybe they'll even use their liability, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have to see what he presents.
As long as we have it, that's all that matters.
And the insurance is always approved by our risk management
Right.
consultant, so once we get that
So
certificate,
are we
that
looking
will
for an
be sent to
approval on
him.
this, or just,
So,
or just,
We don't need approval. I think it's just Barbara reporting and answering any questions that you
Okay.
have. It may come back for approval because there may be something unusual that we don't know about.
if the numbers are over 100 or,
Pretty much
Yeah,
that's the
we'll see.
reason, or if there's a problem, they wanna waive for something.
Okay,
same with this.
would someone like to make a motion to pay the bills?
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second?
Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Huggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
There are 3 reports from the municipal departments, construction, tax collector, and MUA report. They will be available upon request tomorrow at the clerk's office. Would I like to make a motion to accept these reports?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Huggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So, at this time, we've reached the public comment portion of the meeting. If anyone would like to address the township committee, now's the time to do it. Please state your name and your address and whatever you have on your mind.
All's quiet in the western front.
So it appears that we have no public comment this evening, although we did have some prior, with respect to the signs, for Strathmore. So, we'll close the public, comment portion, and I'll ask, Mr. Coggins, to make a motion to go into executive session.
Before you do that, just to clarify, the printed motion that you have, there's no need to discuss the second item under litigation, so you don't have to include that.
Got it.
Also, before we go to that, I could. I wasn't sure when the right time to do this was, but with the conflict that I had with the South Jersey storm, with me being the owner and being the committeeman in charge, I just wanted to go on record that everybody know that I have stepped down as the owner and general manager of the South Jersey storm, to hopefully eliminate the conflict with a resident here in the township. It's not something that I want to do, but I feel that in order for me to do the proper job here with our recreation program, that is something that I have to do. After 45 years, it does rub me a little bit the wrong way. But it's more important that I try to get accomplished what I want to get accomplished here. So I still will be coaching. I will still be the head coach, but I will have nothing to do with the finances or anything else of the program from this point on. So I just want to make sure that goes on record.
Okay? Take it away, Mr. Coggins.
Hey, I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. Contract negotiation with Atlantic Investigations and also our insurance carrier. Litigation for the Affordable Housing Declaratory Judgment. And safety and security. I also include in my motion the estimated time and circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality. With respect to litigation matters, such discussions will be made public when litigation is complete and the applicable appeal period has expired.
Second, let's call the roll.
Mr. Farr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Pearson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Hope all of you have a great evening. Drive safely home.